The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
Good morning, Dixon Morning Show. It is May 22. It is Solidarity Wednesday, and on Solidarity Wednesdays, we are joined by none other than Nomiki Konst of the Nomiki Show. Good morning. How are you this morning?
Holding up, I guess, is the right, as so many others are today.
Right. With so many stories and news that's coming out of Washington, D.C., there is a lot to have to fight and hold on for. I want to begin this morning, as we always do, with a moment in Black history. Google history.
On May 4, 1962, over 1,000 black children from Birmingham, Alabama had been arrested by the notorious Commissioner for Public Safety, Eugene Bull Connor. Reverend James Bevel advised Dr. King to recruit, train and utilize black children in the Birmingham, Alabama protest. Thus, the Birmingham Children Crusade started on May 2, 1963. Organized in groups of 50, when one group got arrested, the next group of 50 children was released from the 16th Street Baptist Church. Adapted from Black Heritage Day calendar by author, lecturer and civil rights activist Dr. Karl Mack.
Nomiki, good morning to you. And
good morning. Oh my God. I need you to wake me up every morning. That was amazing.
Thank you, Nomiki.
Good morning. Good morning. DJ Exclusive, man, how goes the day? I hope I'm out of lag land. Am I still lagging or am I back with you all?
Okay, looks like you're back now.
I act like I'm still lagging a bit here, but we're going to press through. I just want to say good morning to you, DJ Exclusive. Nomiki, before I lag too much, I want you to just let's listen to a couple of responses. Dwayne, let's play the voice of Joe Biden as he dug into this decision or this impending decision from the Supreme Court as it pertains to Roe versus Wade. Let's take a listen to him.
Do you think that this week has irreparably changed the court? We've never seen this happen before.
Well, you know, if this decision holds, it's really quite a radical decision. And again, I've not had a chance to thoroughly go into the report, but it basically says all the decisions relating to your private life, who you marry, whether or not you decide to conceive a child or not, whether or not you can have an abortion, a range of other decisions, whether or not how you raise your child. What does this do? And does this mean that in Florida they can decide they're going to pass a law saying that same-sex marriage is not permissible? It's against the law in Florida? So there's a whole, it's a fundamental shift in American jurisprudence.
Nomiki, when we began this morning, you said that you're essentially whole because of this coverage going on. Tell us about your thoughts, but also what are you thinking about the response from the President of the United States?
I mean, it's hard to summarize at this point. I spent the day yesterday just tweeting away all of my thoughts because that's what we do nowadays, instead of journaling or sitting down, you know, and thinking deeply. This is okay, I'll start with this. I got in a fight with a libertarian. Meghan McCain's husband is a libertarian, very well-known libertarian, right? He and I got in a fight on Twitter over these laws. And, you know, they're getting caught up. The conservatives are getting caught up in process because they really don't have a leg to stand on other issues. Polling shows today in 2022 that most Americans support Roe v. Wade. And I got in a fight with him he compared us to other countries. And I said, well, that's great. You're comparing us to other countries, but they're moving forward. We're moving backward. So yeah, you can compare us to much of Latin America. But even when you do that, each country in Latin America has been gradually moving forward, some drastically so. I mean, abortion was legalized in Cuba, for instance, in 1965. But we are moving towards Handmaid's Tale times, you know, little by little by little. And all that Republicans have to stand on is this process argument, which is pretty weak. And if they're winning on a process argument, right now. That shows how weak we are as Democrats when we do have the majority. There was yesterday was a report saying that Nancy Pelosi is vocally angry at the Biden administration for how they reacted to this. Now, we're so frustrated with the Democratic establishment that, our natural instincts are to be skeptical of that. Is that cover because she can say that, because she has the power to do so, because she's a woman and she needs to keep her House majority? Maybe. But at the end of the day, a lot of things got us to this position today. One being something that we've said over and over and over again, which is the Democrats do not operate in much of this country. And as a result, legislatures have been taken over by far right-wing radicals because we just don't have operations set up to run Democrats. And we rely on really drastic, draconian decisions and Republicans overplaying their hands for movements to turn out, which might happen this election. I mean, we weirdly might be able to keep our majority because Joe Biden hasn't accomplished enough, frankly, because of this decision and because of a few other things as well. But that's not how we should win. We should win by organizing and working locally on the ground. It shouldn't be when our country moves back 50 years, people are like, oh, maybe I should show up and vote. That's not how we should win elections.
Right. And it certainly isn't a plan that the Democratic Party should coalesce around, because we've seen that the representation from Democrats across the states, they don't have a 50-state plan. It's almost as if they don't even have a 20.
Exactly. I think Ben froze, but he's basically saying that we don't have a 50-state plan or a 20-state plan. We have, picking up on where he left off, we have a few states in this country that have well-funded Democratic parties because they operate on their own. You've got California, New York. Yep. Sorry. Is he back?
I don't want to listen. It's going to be one of those mornings. It's no, thank you. I thank you for doing that. And if I break up again, please continue to do that, because that's exactly.
There's a few things to talk about over Ben. Political party strategy is probably one of the few things. No, I mean, you're right, Ben. Like, this is an issue that we've been discussing since Howard Dean. Howard Dean, when he first ran the DNC, he talked about putting together a 50-state strategy. And then I think at that time, people were like, wait, we don't have a 50-state strategy? What are you talking about? Where am I giving my money right now? Why am I donating, $10 a month to the Democratic Party? And I find out that they're not even putting it into Democratic Party offices. This all started around the same time the Democratic Party nationally purged unions. I remember growing up and I'd go to Union Hall and I make phone calls with my mom and we, try to get so-and-so commissioner elected. That doesn't happen nowadays. And when you don't have that, you're also not teaching the next generation how to be good organizers. So not only do we not have operations in every single area of the country as Republicans are swooping in and running QAnon people at the local level, but we also aren't training people how to organize early. And so it's too early to call now, but, we don't have as many people running locally and we don't have as many people running the races locally that are sophisticated. When I say early to call, I'm talking about Nina Turner's, loss yesterday. We don't know what caused that, but last time around, a lot of people said, the establishment came in and really pulled all their tricks. But if we teach people early how to run these races, we're less likely to get tricked by the establishment.
Right.
You're back.
Okay. Back in a format. I'm going to be floating in avatar format. You can get through the rest of this conversation. I want to play this next clip from Vice President Harris, who is speaking with a level of fervor that we absolutely action to represent. Let's take a look at that clip.
Women would lose access to abortion immediately and outright. Those Republican leaders who are trying to weaponize the use of the law against women, will we say, how dare they? How dare they tell a woman what she can do and cannot do with her own body? How dare they? How dare they try to stop her from determining her own future? How dare they try to deny women their rights and their freedoms?
No convincing, but corresponding actions.
I'm not sure what you said, but I think you're talking about actions. I think what's hard to watch about this, and I really shouldn't be in this place. I feel the anger she feels or she's putting out there, and I think many people do feel that anger. I watched the press conference on Capitol Hill yesterday when all the senators, Democratic senators, got together and voiced their outrage, some more effectively than others, honestly. But I think I shouldn't feel like, great, thanks for saying this now. I shouldn't have that feeling. I think a lot of people who showed up in the streets yesterday to do whatever they could to voice their outrage, which they have the right to do and should be doing, also feel like, well, what is this going to do? We had two of the largest marches in history, turnouts, not even marches, movements in history, the Women's March. And of course, all of the organizing that happened around the summer of George Floyd. And where did that lead us? To more draconian laws. So I think something in our conversation right now has to shift around what is our strategy. They have so few in terms of voters. The people who believe in these far right extreme laws, it's not all of the Republican Party. It's a small portion that shows up during Republican primaries. A small portion that gets their Supreme Court justices on the Supreme Court, a small portion that really is dictating so much. But for the most part, like I said, Roe v. Wade is supported in this country. And yet this minority is ruling us from every single angle. And part of that is because Democrats aren't being sophisticated with their strategies. Showing up and protesting is powerful, but it is not working the way it used to.
Nomiki, if you guys can hear, we're going to go to a break because I appreciate you being here and doing this, but I don't want to keep you having to be host while I get my internet right. So we're going to go to a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have this fixed. We'll have more Dixon Morning right after this.
When I tell you the melanin was in the building.
And every evening, and maybe we can't get any higher. But if you like to take a ride, we can discover what we're hiding. Making you move, it sure looks good. Playing it cool like you know you should. Blowing a smile, that's one of a kind.
Alicia Keys' dress was everything.
Baby, you set my soul on fire every morning and every evening. And maybe we can't get any higher. But if you like to take a ride, we can discover what we're hiding. Taking your time and I sure don't mind. But every inch of my body's getting wild, wild, wild. The way that you move is like a love machine. Come be my king and I'll be your queen. I'm running so hot, I need to cool me down. I'm flying so high, I don't see the ground. I'm running so hot, I need to cool me down. I'm flying so high, I don't see the ground.
Okay. All right, y'all. That was the Met Gala 2022 footage put together by yours truly. They came through and did the damn thing. As you see, Future was there, Lizzo, Cardi, Nicki Minaj. They had SZA. Everybody was in the building, and it was epic. Chloe did her thing in her dress. So did Janelle Monáe. The theme this year, Mother, was Gilded Beauty. Gilded Beauty. And to the point, since Rihanna was not there, what they did for Rihanna, they gave Rihanna a marble statue in the museum. off the damn chain. Winnie Harlow came through and did her thing as well, and Alicia Keys did her thing as well too. So man, if you missed it, it was a pretty damn good show. Some of the fastest were off the chain. Some of the people missed the mark, but some of them hit it. So I must say I love it, y'all.